Today, straight from the Jedi archives, is the new announcement on the Bad Batch series. News on the latest upcoming release in the Marvel Darth Vader comic and Star Wars at Comic-Con 2020. Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of the Jedi Archives, a Star Wars podcast. The reason I haven't posted a new episode to the podcast series recently, been about a month since the first one, and that's because I haven't really been motivated to, and also because there's not been too much news on anything Star Wars at all until the past couple days, and that's still not even that much as we normally would get. I'm just going to cover a bit. Today's episode will probably be shorter than normal, maybe shorter than the first episode, but yeah, we'll get straight into it. So today I want to cover a massive announcement on the new Star Wars The Bad Batch series. So this is an all-new animated series to debut on Disney Plus in 2021. So it's Clone Wars 99 from Star Wars The Clone Wars. Of course, they had to return in some way. In my opinion, they should have returned at the end of the season 7, but whatever. Yeah, it turned out how it did. I'm really interested to see what this is like. This is really cool. They just randomly did this by surprise. There was nothing leading up to it at all. I don't know what happened, but I think everyone just wanted to see the Bad Batch again. So Disney Plus ordered its next animated series from Lucasfilm, Star Wars The Bad Batch. Fresh off the critically acclaimed series finale of Star Wars The Clone Wars, the Disney Plus original series will premiere on the streaming service in 2021. So just like I said, this is what's happened over the past about a week or so. So the series follows the elite and experimental clones of the Bad Batch first introduced in the Clone Wars Season 7 as they find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone War. Members of Bad Batch, a unique squad of clones who vary genetically from their brothers in the Clone Army, each possesses a singular exceptional skill, which makes them extraordinarily effective soldiers and a formidable crew. In the post-Clone War era, they will take on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find new purpose. So, what I'm getting out of this is kind of like the Clone Wars, but it's just the Bad Batch, so it's kind of like them on their own solo missions. So, practically, for example, if like some of the clones had their own like series or film kind of. So, for example, like Commander X and Commander Cody. For example, they had their own series, just those two together, going on missions all the time. So it's kind of like a TV show in a way, if you think of it like that. But it's totally not. But it is a TV show, yeah. So this is what they've said. Giving new and existing fans the final chapter of Star Wars The Clone Wars has been our honor at Disney Plus, and we are overjoyed by the global response to this landmark series, said Agnes Chu, Senior Vice President, Content Disney Plus. While The Clone Wars may have come to its conclusion, our partnership with the groundbreaking storytellers and artists at Lucasfilm Animation is only beginning. We are thrilled to bring Dave Filoni's vision to life through the next adventures of the Bad Batch. So there we go, we now know that Dave Filoni is obviously going to be directing and creating the Bad Batch now. So yes, Star Wars The Bad Batch is executive produced by Dave Filoni, who has done The Mandalorian and Star Wars The Clone Wars, and I think did Rebels as well, or part of it. Athena Portillo, Star Wars The Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, Brad Rao, Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars Resistance, and Jennifer Corbett, Star Wars Resistance NCIS, with Carrie Beck, The Mandalorian, Star Wars Rebels, as co-executive producer, and Josh Rhimes as producer, Star Wars Resistance. Rao is also serving as supervising director with Corbett as head writer. So massive announcement. Not really sure what I think about this. I think it's totally fine. I think it'll be cool. I don't think it was too necessary, but cool. I think more Star Wars content, so that's really cool. I'm totally fine with it. I'm down with it. Can't wait. Hopefully this is going to be pretty insane when it comes out in 2021. They're gonna have to be creating quite quickly. I'm thinking it's only gonna be like maybe 1 or 2 seasons when it debuts. So yeah. I guess that's that. But yeah. Pretty cool. Let me know your thoughts on this. But yeah. Not too sure what I think about this, but I'm down with it. Like I just said, totally fine, all cool. Um, yeah. So now I want to get into another topic here. This is the Marvel Star Wars comics, the Marvel Star Wars Darth Vader comic series at the moment. So this is actually really, really cool. I haven't gotten to it myself just yet. I'm probably not going to get around to it. I know one day. You never know. Sometime in a couple of years, I don't know. Sometime in the future, I may. I've been looking into it though. It's actually really good, apparently. And I have seen parts of myself, and it seems really, really cool. So, spoiler alert here: if you haven't seen or read or heard about any of the latest comics in the Darth Vader series, this year, I'm pretty sure it has been. So yeah, because this is leading up news on the latest upcoming um release in the series here. So yeah, there will be spoilers for the past ones. So in the new Darth Vader comics, writer Greg Pak is including callbacks to the prequels and ties to the latest film, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Pak said he's taking a fresh look at the galaxy after Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back from a certain point of view, pun intended, Vader's, as he's just been rejected by his son, Luke. We tend to think of that from Luke's point of view, he said, but when you dig into that, you realize Vader himself is as traumatized as Luke is in that moment. And that moment is echoed purposefully multiple times throughout the series. Pak has already worked Saber into the mix for the first arc, but he says readers can expect the next arc to include key elements to tie into the most recent films in the Skywalker saga, which dig into some great unexplored territory and also dig deeply into the heart of Vader. So that sounds very cool. So there's going to be ties to the Rise of Skywalker. So Anakin and Vader in Episode 9, which I think is honestly going to be very insane and awesome. And callbacks to the prequels. And you know I love both of them as much as I love the original trilogy as well. So yeah. Um so if you are still watching or you've skipped because of the spoiler alert, and if you don't honestly mind or don't care about this or you're not into this, or you haven't got around to it yet and you don't mind like me too much, um so some of you may be wondering who is Sabe. Um so Sabe is practically a vision, or well, actually a person, real life, that I guess appeared and confronted Vader in one of the recent installments to this series. And she is practically from the Phantom Menace. You know how Queen Amidala had her kind of like not doppelgangers, but like her doubles, and yeah, her doubles, and the other like senators with her. Um, yeah, so for like vice queen, I guess, and they would step up as queen, which is not there. She chose Padme. Padme wasn't her next in line, but she chose Padme to go with Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon. Well, not to Tatooine, but they ended up there. Um, yeah, she chose her. And then Padme ended up being Queen Amidala. I'm pretty sure. And then she became senator. So Padme, it's actually one of the doubles, Queen Amidala's doubles from the Phantom Menace, that's still alive and confronted Vader. And she, of course, because she's a double, she looks exactly like Padme. And she wore like pretty much most of the exact same clothes when she confronted Vader. And this was like Padme from Attack of the Clones clothes. So yeah, on Geonosis, Battle of Geonosis. So that's who Sabe is. Um, and yeah, Vader saw her and thought she was Padme. Now we know that she's not, but everyone, it left on the cliffhanger, and everyone thought she was Padme. So practically, this Vader comic series, Darth Vader takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, but spanning over all three trilogies, but especially the OT, with Death Troopers. So yeah, also the art for this is actually very, very cool. So I love that comic art. Yeah. Um, so that's really, really cool. Um, yeah. So Comic Con recently, I have a tad bit of news on Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga. Yeah. So Comic Con. is back. Kind of like surprise shock announcement, but it's back. And so is something else which I forgot. Yeah, sorry. So is the Xbox games event, I'm pretty sure, something like that. Yeah, so at this Xbox games event, everyone expected and it was suspected that Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga would have a final reveal trailer or some um either massive news or some small news or at least some news here. As last year, 2019, this was when Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga was actually announced as a literal and legit video game, coming out and being made in the process. And this is when they had the full-on reveal trailer and everything last year. This Xbox Games event, as TT Games is primarily an Xbox company. Yeah, they work for Xbox. I'm pretty sure they're either sponsored by Xbox, but yeah, they're an Xbox platform company. So yeah, and yeah, this is where this was announced. Everyone was hoping, clinging on to something, um, clinging onto their lightsabers, clinging onto the lightsaber hilts for some Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga news. Yes. So unfortunately, we didn't get absolutely anything. We did not get a thing, which kind of sucked. As I did say, news were going to be coming through the summer, American summer, of course. And also there were and there is Comic Con, and Star Wars isn't Comic Con, believe it or not. And yeah, we were hoping we could just scrape through and get some Lego Star Wars Saga news here. Once again, unfortunately, we did not get a single thing. So that sucked, but it's all good. So August is going to be the biggest month yet for this game and biggest news, everything. So we're hoping there's going to be a final reveal trailer August. It's biggest month yet. There's going to be news coming out quite frequently in August, I believe now, and that has to be because that's the last month of summer for Americans. And like, come on, there has to be. Like, we've got nothing except for May the 4th. That was it. That was last news, and that was hardly anything as it was. That was just some like key art. Although that was some pretty cool news and pretty great announcements and stuff there. But yeah, it doesn't end there. So be on the horizon. There is news on the horizon for the game. I'm hoping to get the game for it to come out around about October. Yeah, or just a bit later. So it is coming out this year, obviously. You should know that already. So yeah, should need to inform you on that. But yes, there will be news coming, and we're hoping to get some awesome news coming our way this August. So yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is Star Wars Vader Immortal's surprise announcement and release date on PlayStation VR. So here we go. In a surprise announcement during Sony Interactive Entertainment's State of Play broadcast today, ILM x LAB revealed that Vader Immortal will be available for PlayStation VR starting August 25th, 2020. The 3 episodes will be sold as a single purchase at $30 MSRP, bringing the complete VR trilogy together for players and fans. During the broadcast event, ILM x LAB also debuted a new trailer for the epic canonical adventure. So, Vader Immortal Star Wars VR series lets you step inside your own Star Wars story as a smuggler operating near Mustafar, the fiery world Darth Vader calls home. When you are unexpectedly pulled out of hyperspace, you find yourself uncovering an ancient mystery at the behest of the Sith Lord himself. The series also includes the popular lightsaber dojo modes, where fans can spend hours honing their skills with iconic lightsabers and more in Vader's training dojo. The series has been acclaimed by fans and industry professionals alike. Vader Immortal won Best VR/AR Game at the 2020 Game Developers Choice Awards. Vader Immortal Episode 1 VR Experience of the Year at the 2019 VR Awards, took home the inaugural Innovation Award at the 2020 Producers Guild Awards, and it was named a finalist for Outstanding Innovation in Interactive Media at the 2019 Emmys. So yeah, this game's pretty good. Star Wars Vader Immortal. There are 3 Vader Immortals, I'm pretty sure, released. Yeah, and there might be a 4th coming later this year. I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, there we go. There's some really cool news on you Vader Immortal fans out there, and everyone else alike, and everyone that's interested in this game, PlayStation VR fans. So yeah, August 25th, 2020, Vader Immortal, Star Wars VR series is coming to PlayStation VR. Another topic that's been circling around my head the past couple of days is the best lightsaber duel in Star Wars. Yeah, so one of the great things about Star Wars is that it inspires endless debates and opinions on a wide array of topics. Best bounty hunter, most powerful Jedi, does Salacious Crumb have the best haircut in the saga? Obviously. Yeah, so I've heard some people saying Darth Maul dueling Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars The Phantom Menace takes the crown. So starting the prequel trilogy off with a bang, Obi-Wan and Darth Maul's lightsaber duel in Phantom Menace is the best in the saga. It's literally called the Duel of the Fates. Everything hangs on this singular moment between 2 apprentices who have everything to prove and nothing to lose. Yeah, so also Dave Filoni has referred to this and explained why it's called Duel of the Fates through George Lucas and how everything hangs on this singular moment. Um, yeah, throughout the entire saga, throughout the entire Skywalker saga, and it has many reoccurrences and ricochets into a lot of things. Plus, visually, it's just cool. Darth Maul has a double-bladed lightsaber, and is fighting 2 experienced Jedi with a twirling acrobatic style we had never seen before. At one point, blocking a strike from behind without even looking. Amazing. Let's back up for a moment. While the choreography is certainly the main factor in making this the best lightsaber duel, Obi-Wan's journey throughout the film plays a major part too. He's still a Padawan when we meet him, but eager to make his master proud. Qui-Gon Jinn had respect for his apprentice and his skills, but Jinn quickly shifts his attentions when he discovers Anakin, and there is an underlying feeling that Kenobi is getting pushed aside to make way for the Chosen One. There's a great bond shared between master and apprentice, and Anakin's arrival changes that dynamic. When Qui-Gon reveals Obi-Wan is ready to face his trials to become a Jedi Knight, their relationship as mentor and student transforms into something more like a friendship. Qui-Gon recognizes that Obi-Wan has grown up and is willing to let him go so he can fully train Anakin. But that future is snatched away once Darth Maul delivers the killing blow. Like Obi-Wan, Darth Maul just wants to please his master. Of course, there's much more on the line for Darth Maul if he doesn't succeed in getting rid of the 2 Jedi and Padme, the Queen of Naboo. He's replaceable, little more than a small cog in Darth Sidious's machine. There's no bond between this apprentice and his master, and the trials Maul must face are different from Obi-Wan's. Maul may hope to be considered worthy in the eyes of Darth Sidious, but in reality he has always been expendable. This lightsaber duel is a culmination of mounting tension from both Obi-Wan and Darth Maul, and here's what makes it so epic. It's a battle for survival. Obi-Wan just wants to get to his master, and eliminating the threat is the only way. Maul must survive so he can complete his mission. There's a rawness inherent in their meeting, with everything on the line. Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon's team up against Darth Maul is just a warm-up fight. Once Maul and Obi-Wan are facing each other head-on, the game changes. Obi-Wan lets out his aggression and Maul feeds on it. Their battle is a dance, desperation behind each move Obi-Wan makes. He knows Qui-Gon is running out of time, and Maul is counting on his distress and trying to use that as a weakness he can overpower. Ultimately, Obi-Wan sees Maul's arrogance as a tool he can manipulate, and uses the Sith's pride as the perfect distraction to deliver the final blow. It's the only time in the saga where having the high ground is actually a bad thing. Obi-Wan and Maul's duel in The Phantom Menace ranks for me as the greatest of all time because of its tension and the fast-paced fighting. But it also does so much more for the storytelling, foreshadowing what's to come for the story Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, setting up one of the greatest and most surprising rivalries in Star Wars. Just when you think you've seen the end of Maul, well, don't cut him short. Yeah, so that's a little bit and a description of the Duel of the Fates there, and what some people are saying and thinking about it, saying how that's the best lightsaber fight in Star Wars. Another one that's been circling around is Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker in Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. So here, given the enormous plot payoff that can conclude Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader's encounter in The Empire Strikes Back, selecting their lightsaber duels the saga's absolute best seems like a no-brainer. But I'd argue their showdown on Bestman earns that status long before Luke loses his hand and learns of his unfortunate parentage. For starters, the stakes are high as Cloud City's tall spire. Not only does Luke cut his Jedi training short at a pivotal moment, he does so because he believes his friends are about to die. Oh, and let's not forget this little detail. Obi-Wan and Yoda fear his early departure from Dagobah could lead to him joining the dark side. Of course, these are just the potential risks for Luke. For the audience, they're far more frightening. As Luke arrives at Bespin, viewers are already aware of what awaits him. We've not only witnessed the carbon freezing of Han Solo, but we've been told by Lord Vader himself that the procedure is just a test run. As far as first-time watchers are concerned, Luke's about to fall into a trap, one that will see him encased in carbonite and delivered to the Emperor. This tension-cranking foreboding carries over to Luke's arrival on Cloud City, where he has little idea of what he's getting into. As young Skywalker navigates the city's sterile, white halls, we know a much darker place awaits behind its closed doors, and fans are nudged to the edges of their seats, waiting for the other shoe to drop. When Luke and Vader finally meet, the tension is ratchet to nail-biting new levels, due in no small part to the haunting atmosphere, a creative collision of audio and visual effects that ultimately serves up one of the series' coolest environments. The hum of the lightsabers, the billowing smoke, the orange and blue hues illuminating the otherwise dim chamber all combine brilliantly, spawning scene after scene that look as beautiful in static shots as they do in motion. The ominous atmosphere sets the stage not for a full-on, action-packed clash of lightsabers, but for an absorbing game of cat and mouse. As Vader taunts Luke, trying to entice him into indulging his darkest feelings, the two rely on force powers as much as their weapons. Vader toys with his target, flinging objects at him, while Luke's far more defensive, calling on his nascent abilities just to survive. While less flashy, the unconventional back and forth carries an emotional weight, backed by each other characters' feelings and motivations, as well as thoughtful pacing, that the saga's other duels simply can't match. The moment when Luke holsters his weapon and enters the illuminated tunnel, for example, offers us a second to catch our breath, at least in theory. In reality, it only serves to set our minds racing, wondering where this ride will take us next. And let's not forget that this duel is beautifully intercut by action scenes of Leia, Lando, Chewbacca, C-3PO, and R2-D2 attempting to rescue Han before Boba Fett flees Cloud City, and ultimately flee themselves. Arguably, the saga's best escape sequence, but that's a debate for another day. It perfectly complements Luke and Vader's more understated encounter. You could fill an entire trash compactor with further evidence of the duel's superiority, from the iconic look of Luke and Vader silhouetted against the carbon freezing chamber to their catwalk battle above the bottomless chasm. But that's not necessary. By the time Luke's hand is history and Vader is bonding with his boy overruling the galaxy together, their meeting in Cloud City has already established itself as a lightsaber battle to beat. So yeah, there we go. A bit of description and bio on the Cloud City duel, the duel on Cloud City, Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader, episode 5. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. In my opinion, between these two, I'm probably more on the Duel of the Fates, especially the Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Maul side of it. Once Qui-Gon is dying, yeah, that like the intensity just gets switched up at like 2 more notches at least, and it's insane. Yeah, it's very choreographed, as I've said, and I have seen Ewan McGregor talk about how choreographed it was, and yeah, how it was created and all that. So that's really good. But personally, in my opinion, I think the best lightsaber duel in the entire Skywalker saga, oh, that is a bloody tough one. Um, I'm not really too sure. Definitely Battle of the Heroes, I think is up there. Duel of the Fates would be up there. Battle of the Heroes. Um, Luke versus Vader and Emperor Return of the Jedi. Episode 6, that is. Yeah. Um, what else? I mean, like Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Vader, that's very influential and crucial to the story, but it wasn't executed well, especially because it was back in the day. But that Scene 38 reimagined video on YouTube, brilliant. So I'm not going to put that up there. Um, Episode 9, Rey and Ben versus Emperor. Even though I know that's not really a lightsaber duel. Episode 7's lightsaber duel is pretty good. Force Awakens, Starkiller Base. Yeah, I would say it's probably with Episode 1, Duel of the Fates, 3, Battle of the Heroes, Yoda vs Darth Sidious was pretty good. And Return of the Jedi. Luke vs Emperor and Vader. Also, Obi-Wan vs Grievous. That was pretty good. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go with Battle of the Heroes for this one. Yeah, and Battle of the Heroes really ties in with Episode 6's duel on the Death Star. Um, yeah, that really ties in, as well as Battle of the Heroes Episode 9. They all tie in. All the duels really tie in, but of course, it all starts off from Duel of the Fates and ricochets off that. And finally, for the last topic of this podcast episode, some breaking Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga news. So here are some leaks, potential confirmation, and official images for the game. And it's not like just standard images; it's images within the game. Yeah. So there's been two images leaked. One of a title screen or menu, and one kind of when you go to search it up in like the store, and it's from the Steam store, I'm pretty sure, but it looks pretty accurate to actually the PlayStation store as well. Yeah, when you go to like purchase the game or something, but in this image it shows you that's updating and some other little hints and clues around it and stuff like that. So the menu is supposedly an animated splash screen of major characters from all three trilogies on a generic rocky terrain. What makes it special is seeing how they intersperse. Kylo Ren's dance with Boba Fett, Rose Tico and Captain Phasma hanging out with Yoda and Lando Calrissian, and the original trilogy heroes are near the top with Rey and Mace Windu. Though Star Wars fans are often polarized by which set of movies they prefer, it is sweet to see so many iconic characters gathered together. Of course, this leak should be taken with a grain of salt. They do say they were hesitant to share the screenshot because of how little is known about the game, with one major detail announced being that Lego Star Wars sets will unlock content. Yeah, so a bunch of sets were released and announced, new Star Wars Lego sets. In my last podcast episode, I featured that. Of that they had tied in with Lego Star Wars Saga, and they're going to have codes and unlockable content throughout and within the game. This was already with the Razor Crest set. And yeah, I think very recently in the past, like 48 hours or something, there has been potential leak or confirmation of the release of that code. So yeah, I'm not too sure on that yet, but I may feature that in my next podcast episode, so just stay in tune. Though the amount of characters on this menu is impressive, Lucasfilm Games managing producer Greg Derrick said the game will feature over 500 characters in an interview published on May 4th, 2020, commonly known as Star Wars Day. The collection will even include deep cut references with characters like Yaddle being playable throughout the game. That's not the full extent of the Star Wars fan service present in this upcoming game and the marketing surrounding it. A listing from Best Buy earlier this year included a cool pre-order bonus for LEGO Star Wars Skywalker Saga, a Han Solo carbonite steelbook case. So yes, yeah, two great images: a title screen on the rock, and this rock kind of seems like the original theatrical poster for Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. Yeah, when it came out in cinemas. It's kind of like the pose that Ray's doing, which I really like. Yeah, it looks really cool. We finally get to see actual image for General Grievous, and it's something that everyone's been waiting for. Get a bit of a BB-8 there. So I'll just try and name it the characters: Maz Kanata, Kylo Ren, Boba Fett, Admiral Akbar, Darth Maul. Ben Kenobi's format has changed again, apparently. I believe so. It does not look like him. In my opinion, it looks like one of those rebel generals. I forgot his name from Return of the Jedi. Yeah, if that's what Ben Kenobi is going to look like just from that image, I really don't like that. But it's probably a completely different game. So yeah, Chewbacca, Han Solo, Mace Windu, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Rey, C-3PO, R2-D2, BB-8, Jar Jar Binks, Darth Vader, an Ewok, General Grievous, Rose Tico, Captain Phasma, Yoda, Finn, Poe, and Lando Calrissian. So there we go. Now in the other image, with the kind of store and purchasing the game, says it is updating on the Steam store, and just as the image is cut off, there is a little section DLCs installed 8 out of 8. So there we go, potential DLCs confirmed. I'm gonna say there will be. Yeah, so there we go. 8 DLCs possibly. Not saying it's legitimate or anything, but it seems like it is. So yeah, there's also some other things here around the screen. So yeah. There's some news on Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Yeah, so I think that's gonna wrap up today's podcast episode. If you enjoyed, please give it a like. And subscribe down below to help me reach 400 subscribers and eventually 1k 1000 subscribers, as it really helps me out, and that's what I want to get to, and I can provide you guys with more and better content there. So yeah, stay tuned for the next podcast episode, maybe a couple of weeks. I did have this one planned about a week ago and a couple of days ago as well, but issues again happened, but it's all good now. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. May the force be with you.